Hello and welcome back to the channel. Motions Biz here. And on this video, I would like to discuss and share my experience with opening a business account with some other banks and comparing it to the way I opened a business account with Navy Federal. And I would say that there is a lot of difference actually. So I would like to share that, especially those who are planning on opening a business account with Navy Federal or with other banks. So just in case you have any experience as well with how you opened your business account with other banks, we would love to hear about it. Today, I would like to share my personal experience with opening a business banking account with Navy Federal and two other banks. So these were smaller banks, as I have learned that it may be worthwhile to open a business account with these local, smaller regional banks. So the first difference that I would share is that Navy Federal takes a little bit more processing time when it comes to opening a business account. And this is not the same with the two other banks I mentioned, plus another bank I remembered that I also had the chance to open a business account with. With Navy Federal, the normal and the usual processing time is about 7 to 10 days, but it can take longer than that if they would require more information from you. And that is actually what happened to me. They needed more verification and they notified me via email. So they are pretty good with communication. So at first, I really thought that my application perhaps was denied or I never got an answer because there was no notification that they received my application. So I actually was waiting and did not really think that it would go through because there was no follow-up communication after that, except on the 7th or 10th day, I think that's when I received an email about needing more information from me. And soon after, they were able to approve me after that. For these two banks that I mentioned that I opened a business account with, the process was very fast. It was right then and there. And they really did not require a lot of paperwork and a lot of forms to fill out, just the very basic. Unlike Navy Federal, wherein you have to fill up a lot of those things and a lot of those forms. One of the banks that I opened an account with was Seacoast Bank. And the reason why I opened and I chose this bank was that it was convenient for the physician, for the orthopedic surgeon who I provided physical therapy services for his patients, was banking with this bank because it was local and he has friends at this bank. So when I tried to open a business account at this bank, the people who were there facilitated the process for me. And right when I left the bank, I already had available checks that I can use for my account, and my business account was officially active. The other bank that I used and opened a business checking and savings account with was Regions Bank. The reason being, it was only a few blocks away from my facility and it was very convenient for me. And knowing that some regional banks are actually easy to do business with compared to these big banks, so I tried them. And the process with Regions Bank was the same. It was pretty easy. They required only a few documentation while I was there, but I came prepared. With these two banks, Seacoast and Regions Bank, I noticed that the very basic requirement that they needed, Form SS4, and that is the form you get from the IRS, where they provided you with an EIN or an employee identification number. They required that for one. They required your ID. They also needed you to fill out some forms. So the basic things they needed was your information, of course, as the owner of your business, or if you have other partners, they also need to provide their information as well. They will get information about your business address, phone number, email, website, if any, and your registration with the Secretary of State, certificate of good standing. Yeah, things like that. They need very basic. And they also need an initial deposit. Now, if I remember right, they required only about $100 opening amount, which is also the same with Navy Federal. They just need $100 to open that business account. Now, with these things, when they do verify your business with the Secretary of State, they might also ask you for your articles of incorporation. So just be ready for that. And before I forget, they also required the business permits and whatever licenses you have for your business. So with these two banks, it was pretty easy to open a business account with. Once I had all this paperwork, and right when I left the bank, like I said, I already had a business checking account active, and all I had to do was just wait for my debit card and checks that I ordered in the mail. However, they provided me with a temporary checks I can use and deposit slips as well. Most banks nowadays have an option for you to open a business account online. But with me, I prefer to do it in person so I can pretty much submit or provide whatever information they needed. And I have always opened business accounts right at the branch or right at their site. I've always preferred to do that in person. With Navy Federal, however, I had to do it online. And I would say that even if I had to wait longer with Navy Federal, I still found that the benefits of having a business account with Navy Federal was still a lot better than these other smaller banks that I banked with. And the reason being, even after only a week of getting approved for my business checking and savings account, I was approved for the GOBIZ business credit card for $15,000. And that is a lot usually for a new business, especially a business registered only a few months before, about 3 months before. That was how new the other business was when I opened a business checking account with Navy Federal. Now, with Regions Bank, they would need you to be with them for at least 2 to 3 years before they would even consider you for a business credit card. So that was really interesting. And it's the same with Seacoast Bank also. So with Navy Federal, it seems like it was so much easier for them to grant you a business credit card because you already have a personal banking relationship with them. And at that time, when I applied for the GOBIZ business credit card, I already have a personal account with Navy Federal with the cash rewards was approved for $25,000. So I think that also had something to do with my approval for the GOBIZ credit card. Although they do a credit check also with a GOBIZ credit card with Experian. It's not TransUnion with a GOBIZ business credit card. So just to share this information with you to serve as a reference just in case you have a new business and you are considering opening a business checking account with Navy Federal, or if you have experience with other banks as well, it would be great to hear about that here. So let me know what you think and what your experience has been with the Navy Federal business checking account. So anyway, it's Motions Biz here again. Until next time.